Ten Hag has gone ahead to identify Ugarte as a new Casemiro backup at Manchester United. Welcome to the United Matters channel. Hope you guys are really having a wonderful day. And we first started off the day with a story coming in from Diogo Dalot. Diogo Dalot has signed a 6-year contract that is going to see him be at Manchester United until 2029. So good news coming in from that side. So we wait for the contracts of David De Gea, Marcus Rashford, who else? Fred. So those are the remaining 3 contracts that Erik ten Hag is eyeing on to extend and obviously keep them at United for a very, very long time. There is a shocking story coming in from the Daily Mail. Is it Simon Jones confirmed to us that United are not going to keep the loan, are not going to make the loan of Sabitzer and Wout Weghorst permanent. Not music to ears to some United fans, and it might be music to ears to others. And lastly, Anthony Elanga, finally United have gone ahead to make their confirmation that they want to sell the player, and the price of Anthony Elanga has been named by the club of Manchester United, and whoever wants to take him, they want to see it that they get or they milk out that amount of money from Anthony Elanga. Let's start off with Ugarte. Ugarte is a 21-year-old Uruguayan international. He plays for Sporting Lisbon. He plays as a central defensive midfielder. When I looked at him, I'm seeing Rodri. Every time I see him play, I see Rodri in that midfield. And a baller have gone ahead and confirmed to us that Man United have entered the rest of Manuel Ugarte. Man United have put cutting-edge financial arguments on the table to convince Manuel Ugarte with a high salary and a long-term contract. That is it. So United have gone ahead to address something that we have always called in for. You know, in the entire transfer window that is really starting in June, we've been only linked to one CDM that I know, that is Declan Rice, of which to me I don't see Declan Rice as an elite CDM. When you look at Manuel Ugarte, 21 years of age, he's really a very good and talented player. I've told you, every time I see him play the game of football, I see Rodri directly, that central defensive midfielder of Man City. Why do I think that Erik ten Hag is looking at him as the possible backup for sorry about that. The possible backup all understudy for Casemiro. He's 21 years of age. He still has a lot to learn, and guess who is the best person to teach him what exactly he's supposed to learn? That is Erik ten Hag. If at all he transformed De Jong, Donny van de Gravenberch into what they've gone ahead to turn into, I think Ugarte will be a very good signing for Manchester United. But the problem is there are 2 teams that have already gone ahead to put in their bids and interest. That is Chelsea and PSG. The release clause of Ugarte is 60 million euros. And his agent is the super agent, the former agent of Ronaldo. What's his name? He has gone ahead to bring the likes of Bruno Fernandes from Manchester United, Nani, Ronaldo's former agent. Let me check his name here. Ronaldo agent. Jorge Mendes, right. Jorge Mendes is the man behind this deal. And I don't know why we failed to use our good relationship with Jorge Mendes to arrive very many players at Old Trafford that we want, especially from Portugal. 90% of the players coming in from Portugal, their deals are being negotiated by this man, Jorge Mendes, the super agent. So Jorge Mendes is in the mid of this deal. PSG are really offering a bid. Chelsea have gone ahead to put in a bid, and they've already gone ahead to do huge work ahead of us. Now, I don't know what mechanism we are going to use at Manchester United to come in through and obviously convince Ugarte to come into Manchester United, because I look at him as a very good backup player that will go in for and bring him at Manchester United. Talented Uruguayan player, and I saw him play against Arsenal away in Sporting Lisbon, and he was sent off. Was he sent off? I think he was sent off. He was red carded, and I saw Mikel Arteta come out and really hail the player. He loves to see this player, and Ugarte is a very good central defensive midfielder. When you look at his attributes, he's really press resistant, good pass of the ball, and he can really carry that ball through the central midfield. Yards of space that he carries them are really ridiculous. His engine is really great. He's athletic. His physicality is unquestioned. He's really a player that is not a complete article that you would really bet on to be the next Casemiro in the coming future. And if at all you get him at Manchester United right now, that means at least you know that every time Casemiro needs a rest, or every time Casemiro is suspended or injured, you have a serious backup. He doesn't have a very bad injury record. That is Ugarte, and United is in for the player. But can we beat Chelsea and PSG that have gone ahead to find themselves in a position of obviously positioning themselves in a direction of really getting this player fast? I understand us offering Champions League football is something great for him. Secondly, PSG have what they don't have. What United has, what PSG doesn't have. We are playing in the Premier League, one of the biggest. It's the biggest football league in the world. Thirdly, we have a very good relationship with Sporting Lisbon. We've gone ahead to get Ronaldo from Sporting Lisbon. We've gone ahead to get Nani from Sporting Lisbon. We got Bruno Fernandes recently in 2020. So our relationship with Sporting Lisbon can really trigger this deal to come in through, and I think we can really go past these other teams. Chelsea is wanting the player. They're playing the Premier League, but the problem is they're not in the Champions League. We are offering Champions League football, and I don't see Ugarte make a mistake going to PSG. I think he wants to come to the Premier League. Bruno Fernandes, a captain of Sporting Lisbon before he left in 2020, I think he can do a very huge role to convince this boy to come in at Manchester United. I believe if we get all our weapons that we have to use to get this deal done and dusted, we can really win the race. We can win the race over Chelsea and PSG. But the problem is, who is going to finance this deal? That is it. It's not that they want the 60 million euros at once, but they want a proper payment structure that is really reliable. For Bruno Fernandes, they are left with I think only, is it 15 million euros? The 50 million euros have already been paid to Sporting Lisbon, and with that connection and how we've gone ahead to not fade out any player that we've bought from Sporting Lisbon, I think will be the realistic destination for Manuel Ugarte if at all United are serious onto this deal. And I'm waiting to see the likes of Fabrizio Romano coming out and telling us that United has gone ahead to enter the race to sign Ugarte, because Fabrizio Romano has been a regular reporter onto this Ugarte deal as far as the player being linked to Chelsea and PSG are concerned. Now, let's leave Ugarte at that and let's go to the midfield situation of Manchester United. There is a man known as Marcel Sabitzer. I love the player, but I think it has not gone his way. Now, Man United will not make the loan deals of Wout Weghorst and Marcel Sabitzer permanent this summer. That has been told to us by Mail Sport. All right, now, Sabitzer found himself injured in the most critical period of the season, and he has been ruled out. For Wout Weghorst, I think no one is going really to miss Wout Weghorst. That's it. No one is going to miss him. If at all we are being realistic, no one is going to miss Wout Weghorst. But the player that's going to be missed is Marcel Sabitzer because of his quality and experience that he brings to the club of Manchester United. But it looks like if Ten Hag is going to hate to make that decision, there is no way you come out and really tell Erik Ten Hag, why have you gone ahead to put out as a decision of really letting Marcel Sabitzer leave? But I think if at all he never found himself injured and he has been playing all these games through to the finale, he would have gone ahead to put in lots of things that Ten Hag would have gone ahead to look at and decide that he's going to stay. The moment he saw himself really get an injury is where he had really gotten his first starting spot in the team of Manchester United, because Ten Hag had resorted to playing four midfielders: Bruno Fernandes, Eriksen, Casemiro, and Sabitzer. So Ten Hag had trusted the player, but the injury just got him out of the plans of Erik Ten Hag. So let's wait and see how that's going to pan out. But it's pretty painful for me for not getting that player in on a cheap. Having Fred, I rather have a Sabitzer. Having a Scott McTominay, I rather have a Sabitzer. But unless otherwise, we get in the likes of Ugarte, Mason Mount, Rabiot. I think that's when we won't go in for this player. Getting in Sabitzer will depend on the players that we have really gone ahead to get in at the club of Manchester United. So let's leave that at that. Let's wait and see how that's going to pan out. But it looks like Sabitzer's loan deal at Manchester United is not going to be made permanent. That's it. So let's wait and see. But this story just doesn't coincide with the Fabrizio Romano story that he told us that United are interested in signing Sabitzer. Even Christian Falk, very close source to Bayern Munich, confirmed to us that United want to keep Sabitzer at the club of Manchester United. So let's wait and see what is going to happen. Just some days after playing the FA Cup finale, we'll be knowing what fate is up for Sabitzer. But for Weghorst, I don't see us keeping him. Let's go to Anthony Elanga. Samuel Lucas, a United correspondent for the Manchester Evening News, has confirmed to us that Man United have halved their asking price for Anthony Elanga to £10 million. United had initially intended to loan Elanga, who is 20 years next season, but his peripheral status has convinced the power brokers to consider offers for the Swede. Now, unless otherwise, you don't see where United is going. I think one of those players that doesn't have his future at Manchester United is Anthony Elanga. Why? When you look at the players playing off the left attacking side of the midfield, he cannot match any of their levels. Rashford, Sancho, Alejandro Garnacho. 3 players. And if at all, 2 of those 3 players were in their early 30s, you would have said, all right, we can go ahead and loan him and then get him back when everything is done and dusted. But Rashford is 26, Garnacho is 19, Sancho is 22, 23 years of age, meaning that they are still here and they're willing to play at a level that Elanga cannot even play at. So I think it's a very good mature decision to sell Anthony Elanga. And if I told you to sell him, that means that's another source that is going to raise income for the club of Manchester United, earning £10 million from Anthony Elanga because he's having close to 20 clubs that are interested in him, and I think they're willing to pay that amount of money. The likes of Borussia Dortmund, Everton, PSV, which other teams? There are very many teams that are interested in the player, and I think that's a very clever decision that we have to do. Unless otherwise, United feel like they want to make more money, they can really put in what we call a resale clause. I understand he'll come good because we saw it that when Ralf Rangnick came in through and trusted him, he came good and scored very many goals for the club of Manchester United. In just those months from November, when Rangnick came in through, he scored close to 7 goals. So it shows you that when he's given more playing time, he can turn out into a player that most of us never thought he would become. Remember, Marcus Rashford came in through and obviously seized the moment and scored goals. And he's one of those players that are going to turn out into a very good player. So for Anthony Elanga, I think it's better we sell him at £10 million, get the money in, and then we put there a resale clause. You know, if at all they are selling him, we get 30% of that amount of money. So guys, your thoughts on Ten Hag? Ten Hag identifying Ugarte as Casemiro's backup are welcome in the comment section below. What do you think about Sabitzer's fate at Manchester United decided? And lastly, Elanga up for sale. I sign out for now. See you later, and I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living true God protect you abundantly. Bye-bye.